You know how people are always saying one way or the other. For example, how much money doesn't matter or shouldn't matter in life, and how much it does, or that's the only thing you need to get in life. All sides of that spectrum. Well, there's unique truths to that answer for all of us. Like, there's a generality, and then there's what actually matters for you in your day-to-day versus what you think and want, and how life has been and will be. Like, there's always that we're ourselves only one time. So in the moments that we're there or here now, depending on the time, which it's only now, obviously it can be for me, will determine all of those answers. So what am I even saying? I'm trying to figure that out myself. I know what point I was just thinking to cause me to make this video, but actually explaining it and talking in the moment, this is what ends up coming out of me sometimes. But so just to try and sum up that spectrum of left and right, what matters, what doesn't matter, and I was using money as the example. We can say, like, life's purpose isn't about money at all. As nature, as humans, we should all be doing this, helping each other, this, that. But let's just fast forward to the state of 2024 and America, and where I'm at, and what I know for my day-to-day, and what caused me to think, hey, yes, all this money is important. Spirituality is important. Being a good human is important. All these things that we just can say is important, like I just did. What does that actually mean? Because someone else could say the same things that I just said, and it still means something completely different. I live in Las Vegas. I'm born and raised here. I'm in the future with technology now, and like my day-to-day, and I've been on both sides of spectrums of loving nature and this, and now at 36 years old, working every day and getting money. So my thought process will always change, as they should for all of us, and this definition will always be different. Even if I made this video, stop this one and made it, I could say something different, but in the long run I still have the same concept of kind of zooming or zoning in, or trying to find what I'm actually thinking of an answer to my own questions of how important is money in day-to-day life. And after COVID and prices going up, the economy, and really seeing how lives are affected day-to-day in America, and hitting me now, like, just thinking, things are crazy in California, the prices are going up, but here it was always still chill and nice, and now it's here, it's like, yeah, this is how things can happen. Minimum wage going up, this going up, that going up, and it seriously changes the way you think about day-to-day life of, money, food, what you eat, what you don't eat. It like literally is affecting so many things that the definition of freedom in America is money. That is what that gives you. And it does go deeper than that, obviously, with, how lucky we are to have certain things and how unlucky we are to have certain things. Like, I could go on and on about comparing things, but we are where we are. So I'm just trying to kind of urge us to think more uniquely, or whatever word would fit in there, about our own situations and how we can truly try and be better humans, but still have this factor of being selfish and unselfish, the same times and like constantly having to, think of ourselves and put others before us. If you have kids or certain things like that, like certain situations will bring us to what is important, and telling other people what is or isn't important isn't really what we should be doing. We should kind of finding that out on our own and sharing the knowledge of what we learn from these changes. So my advice, since this whole thing seems about like money, I'm rambling profusely. But what money used to mean and what it means now is so much different for me. After seeing, my mom retire, for instance, or my own day-to-day of how I operate with certain bills I have to pay, this, that, coming up with money. And it's always a unique relationship. Like, I'm trying to find what should we be spending our money on. Like, oh my gosh, these concepts. But like, there's so many ways that we can, where it's, we want to have fun, we want to save, we want to think ahead. Hindsight's 2020, so we don't ever know what's going to happen. Like, we've been through things, we say we want to prepare, but then, in the moment, life will usually always take over. So just trying to find that balance, I guess, is the reason I'm making a video like this and basically talking to myself. Trying to find that balance between what you truly believe in, what you've, what's changed our hearts and minds, what makes us colder, what makes us warmer as people. Well, we all have certain shields we have to put up, judgments everywhere. Social media is huge. Like, America is hard to fathom. I'm just living day-to-day working, but like, when you watch certain people that have major followings, these concepts that are teaching to the new generation, like, I don't know. And that's the thing, I don't know, because I don't watch all that or like a part of it. So I'm kind of on the outside looking in on a certain aspect. But I think, I should actually just come back to myself, and maybe that is the key. Not really worrying too much about the whole, what is they doing, what is this doing, because in the long run, most of us say that anyway, like, oh, this doesn't affect me, or even though someone else has a certain way of thinking and you watch that all the time, that's not necessarily what you think, but still there's that, unique connection of not condoning, but like, we all still are hypocrites in certain ways, or I am, like, for whatever reasons, I'm applying that to, because I can be selfish. I want to be as selfless as I can and be there, and I am, and I'll be there for help, but also at the same time, internal thoughts and thinking and life and music and, dreams and things I want to still accomplish, and things like that are also there. So it's a necessity to think of how I'm going to make money and how I'm going to live life and day to day, and the choices that, I've made to get me here, and the choices that others have made that I can't control to get me here, etc., to how to now best play my own hands from how I know the world works, since I've lived in these certain circumstances for my whole life, to use that to actually create a better me, a better platform, a better way to use my resources to help myself and others in causes and dreams that I think, are worth it, or that are meaningful. But to do that, to make a meaningful cause, or to be able to make music, I have to also kind of be selfish, or even against nature, or, not do bad things, but work for money, or sit around somewhere, be somewhere for 8 hours necessary. You may not want to be, or do want to be, or we enjoy it, but that's part of the plan, to be able to actually be able to be a good human. You have to be, just in plain terms, a bad human to be a good human. And that's not what I'm really saying, but you have to sacrifice things for yourself and the way that our culture and structure of life works here. That's the only thing I can really comment on, because that's how I live, that's where I was born. I'm in America, etc., etc. So I think this is just more of a shout out to whoever knows me or sees this or is in a similar situation or can learn from this in the future, about just finding that within you, because we all can know who we are, and that keeps changing, especially when it comes to the arts or spiritual things, or like me, music, where I try and point that out, but years keep going by and things go fast. I haven't really been performing or showing those things as I used to, due to certain life circumstances, but also there's really nothing holding me back at the same time. I could just immediately get back into things and start doing music, but there's always a factor of growing up and creating new, and that process keeps changing, and it becomes again, and it's easier and harder, and inspiration is different, and my mind's different, and I'm older, and I'm etc. So that also plays a factor. So I'm trying to zone in on making that balance for me, and also setting that structure for, if you hear this, to apply it to your own self in that unique way of, and it's not that easy for anyone. I have it easier than other people, and other people have it easier than me, and that could keep trickling. But that's not the point. The point is, we're all supposed to have a chance and still find that chance in our own version of life, and try and take notice or realize that, which I'm trying to do now. Like, I'm speaking to myself to motivate me to use now what I've built more wisely, especially because things are going to keep getting harder and harder. So it's important, because I only get one chance at it. I've had all these years and still can have zillions of regrets. We can make them up in the moment. They can change, they cannot. What's actually happened can only happen. Our memories also start to fragment as we get older, so there's just different versions of everything, but the core things that change you are usually always there, because they are major moments, and we try and learn from them as much as we can over and over and over. But as day-to-day life comes, we sometimes forget. And I'm also going through another change, just with seeing how certain health things can affect people or change fast, or could lose your life at any time. So I really want to just put out my energy better, do better with the resources I do have for myself and for others. Like, to literally say, yes, I am going to be selfish, but yes, I'm also going to but also be unselfish, and be there, and anyone can call on me on any time, and I'll always do my best to be there when it's worthy, and just to build better relationships, and show appreciation for everyone that's been in my life at any time, because we shape each other, especially when we are younger. The people we are with, we all share each other's dreams, and we're all uniquely different, but yet we're still celebrated. And when we come together, it's a beautiful thing that we can have friends, and that we can rely on. And usually the circle always gets smaller and smaller, unless, well, there's no unless, because I don't know, just because you're famous doesn't mean maybe you have zillions of friends, but we all usually have those real people that know us just for who we are, and accept that without judgment. And that's not always easy to do. So when people do that for me, it's even more appreciated. And I want to say thanks to anyone that has and is my friend and supported me or my art at any time. My life, that extends out very far and wide, especially obviously in the Las Vegas music scene, which I haven't been a part of in a little bit, at least fully, but I'm always watching and happy to be where I was at when I did, and I'll still want to join and come back in any way I can, and I have to figure that out myself, which that's part of the process. But yeah, I felt like this was probably the craziest rambling video I've ever made consciously, and like was trying it out, because that's how I am. I always jump back and forth and sometimes don't make sense about things, but I'm living in the moment, and that is why it sounds like this, and that's the point. I'm trying to zone in on what I really truly feel about life, and spiritually, like all on all planes of levels, all the way from heaven, afterlife, this, that. But I can only showcase my human form and what I think I could do here on earth, with the one chance that I do still have, with everything I've been through and where I'm at in my specific situation with the economy and jobs and day-to-day factors. I feel very blessed. I'm very happy. I'm very lucky for all that I have and still get to have. So I'm sending personal thanks to, for all that's been a part of that at any time, even for one day, covering a meal, buying food for me. Like, all of that is like truly a blessing, and I could just say not everyone gets that, but like it's a known fact that the world, like there's so many people suffering that don't get that stuff. So it's like blind eyes. Like, I don't see day to day. We can see anything on our phones, war, people dying, this, that, but we're not a part of it, so it's not affecting me. So I still have this beautiful opportunity to keep being able to make music and have a bite to eat and go through a drive-through fast food, to have an argument about who's the GOAT, like still get to do all these things, chew a piece of gum, play Fortnite, like, and still also I need to balance that with my own creations, my life creations, like what I want to do, and still I feel like I haven't accomplished like at all. I'm still jealous about things that others have accomplished in those ways musically, and things that I haven't, straight up, like, and it's just on me. And the process could be very simple and complex, I can only blame myself and just want to get better and still support everyone else and be happy for all of us that continue on these journeys. So yeah, God bless us there, and we guys could just continue to do ourselves and like really find how we can still manage what we do love and want with these hardships that are still ahead and coming and will be there, and at the same time realizing as best we can that the moment is always present, and it's one chance every single time. Like, I only had one chance to try to make this point, which I could try another video, but the whole thing was just to see how it even sound and trying to make a point, and this is what it turned into. So yeah, with all that being said, I love you all. I love being able to make this video and have a phone, and I still want to kind of zone in, be more minimal, and not have so many things that I used to think is important now is not so much, with how much things have changed and harder, and prices going up, economy, etc. It's all relative. It's still, we have endless opportunity. So let's seize the moment. Stay true. See ya.